I find many people think of love or compassion as something that will weaken you, that you don't want to love this person you're in an adverse relationship with, because that means giving in, that means surrendering, it means giving up your values, giving up your protestation. And why does it mean that compared to I think one of the most indelible images in my mind my whole life was watching some documentary about freedom riders going out to in the South to register people to vote, and getting down on the ground and praying, and then getting up and going forward and getting beaten up, and then being in the hospital. And there was one guy who looked really bad in the hospital, and somebody went to interview him, and he was like radiant. And he said, "We practice nonviolence." And I thought, where's that come from? I'd have a hard time generating that kind of radiance with like a bad cab driver, and look at that. Look at what he could do. So there have been times that, or for different people, we don't see love as giving in. We see it as not being afraid. We see it as touching something so much greater than the situation we're in. We see it as a wellspring of strength. And just through my years of loving kindness, not even, the time we're in now, which is kind of harrowing, but in my years of teaching loving kindness, there have been so many people who've said to me, I don't know, if I were to develop a more loving heart, I'd have to give them more money. I'd have to let them move back in. I'd have to, I wouldn't take a stand. I wouldn't protect myself. I wouldn't care about other people. I would just sort of smile. And I think I've often thought, and it was one of the reasons I was so grateful to find your work, what a degraded notion of love we've come to, that we think that that's what it means. And so I think there's also something empowering, although not easy, in saying, no, I'm going to recapture that word.